Om Shri Sai Ram, offering my most humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of our most beloved Master, Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. On this auspicious Guru Poornima day, we offer our obeisance to the Divine Master at his divine lotus feet. Dear brothers and sisters, this is an extreme circumstance that we live in today. The COVID-19 pandemic has taught us a great lesson that Bhagwan used to always tell us, love my uncertainty. And that's what we are today, in uncertain times. But do we get worried? The answer is no. Because this situation also is a part of the divine will. A part of the divine will where we all learn to practice what he told us throughout his sojourn on earth. Brothers and sisters, he always told us that he resides in our heart. On this auspicious Guru Poornima day, the question arises in all our minds. What do we offer to our Guru as Guru Dakshina? But we all know, brothers and sisters, that there is nothing that we can offer him when everything belongs to him. He pervades the entire cosmos. He pervades the entire human system that we call ours. He's a part of every cell of our body. In fact, he is the very breath in our body. To such a master, what do we offer? Is a question that all of us must ponder and ponder very deeply. Brothers and sisters, before the advent of the avatar, mankind had confused himself to such an extent. Despite all the great knowledge and the great books that he had read, the various philosophies that he had tried to understand, at the end of it, he landed in confusion. And obviously so, because with all that knowledge, there was no skill, there was no balance, and therefore there was no insight. Knowing this predicament of mankind, Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba decided to descend upon earth and show mankind, guide him, show him the mirror, and tell him that everything in the world is complicated. God alone is simple. When reality, man was trying to make everything in the world simple and make God complicated. Bhagwan came on this earth. Despite our prowess, our karmas, our sadhana, in very simple terms, he came to tell us the truth that many rishis take many births to realize. Such is the compassion of our master. Such is the grace, the anugrah of Bhagwan, that he came on earth and consistently told us, look, my children, Divyatma Swarup Dularas, God doesn't reside anywhere else. God resides in our heart. The same God who resides in our heart also resides in the hearts of everyone else. And the purpose of human birth is to experience this. The entire essence of the spirituality of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba is to ensure that you and I learn that the power called Sathya Sai Baba is within us. And the same power energizes every other human being, pervades the entire cosmos, the forest, the flora, the fauna, the cosmic, the planets, everywhere. There is nothing where God doesn't exist. So realizing this truth, brothers and sisters, should be the goal of all our sadhana. The Sathya Sai Seva Organization, an organization unique in its sense, was established only for this purpose, to realize inherent divinity. All of us, brothers and sisters, must understand that whatever we do in the Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organizations is only directed at this one experience that each one of us must strive to have. And that is realizing that God is inside us. The all-powerful, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent power of Swami is within us. And we must realize this in the span of birth and death that is given to us in terms of time. Brothers and sisters, we must ensure that we realize, as Guru Dakshina to our Bhagavan, to our Master, that we must have faith which is expressed in action, that the doer is Bhagavan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. He is the powerful being that controls even your and my breath, and every aspect of our human life is in his command. Without his will, no effort can succeed, brothers and sisters. It's the truth of spirituality. How do we express this gratitude to Bhagavan? By our transformation on a day-to-day basis. Every thought, word, and deed of ours must slowly and steadily, with surety and with great confidence, move in the direction of experiencing him in our breath. I remember Bhagavan telling Phyllis Crystal that the best way to adore him is every morning when you get up, tell him that when I see God, see through my eyes. When I hear God, hear through my ears. When I speak, speak through my tongue. And verily, when I breathe, help me to breathe, my Lord. That is really the essence of knowing that Bhagavan is the master of our entire being. Bhagavan has so often told us, brothers and sisters, that surrender is the path to him. That is the safest path, and that is the path we have come to learn in the Sathya Sai Seva Organization by whatever sadhana we do. Because the moment you surrender to him, he takes charge of your and my life. He takes charge of your thought and my thought. He takes charge of your action and my action. And once he takes charge of your action and my action, the result of this action is all dedicated at his lotus feet. And what a liberation for each one of us if that is achieved, brothers and sisters. This is where I think we must formulate our gratitude to Bhagavan in terms of a complete transformational attitude to living life henceforth from today. It is indeed unique and coincidental and apart from our perspective, but on his part a divine plan, that this Guru Poornima, we are all condemned to our homes and we cannot go out. It is therefore it's a divine plan that all of us are restrained in our homes during this COVID pandemic, only to realize that we can close our eyes, be contemplative, and understand that Bhagavan resides inside our heart. Every sadhana must result into this. Let us analyze the Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization, brothers and sisters. The spiritual wing. The only objective of the spiritual wing, brothers and sisters, is to understand that through whatever sadhana we do, we surrender ourselves to Bhagavan. Where ego comes down, the sense of doership doesn't exist. We do whatever we do, every karma is done, offered and forgotten, never to be remembered, never to be basking in that glory, but offering everything to Bhagavan. Every moment keeping ourselves open to a new experience of divinity, ensuring that our mind is empty and filled with God thought, filled with the thought of Bhagavan, his beautiful face, his lovely words, his great aura. And that's where the whole spiritual dimension of the Sathya Sai organization. Bhajans. Bhajans must lead to this sense of unity, oneness. Bhajans cannot be with ego. Bhajans cannot be a skill. The activity per se has no meaning if it doesn't bring that unity of consciousness, of all energies together. Nagar Sankirtan, the same issue. Study circles are circles where people sit together to share this experience of surrender. Knowledge and skill are useless, brothers and sisters. Bhagavan has so often told us that knowledge and skill, if it is not balanced and does not have insight, it has no meaning. You know, in the current last 3-4 months, There have been so many spiritual talks and spiritual sadhana camps, and so many speakers have spoken. In fact, it's been an amazing thing that so much spiritual content has been generated. But remember, all this has no meaning unless that practice and transformation comes. We may have heard many great speakers. We may have chanted millions and millions of japas. But at the end of it, when you close your eyes and do not feel Bhagavan, at the end of it, in my speech, there is no humility. In my eyes, there is no love. In my attitude, there is no camaraderie. There is no unconditional love. In my breath, there is no rhythm. In my countenance, there is no peace. And in my complete demeanor, there is no divinity. The vibrations around me are not powerful enough to reflect His glory. Then what is the use of all that we did? It's a question that we must all ask. Bhagavan wants transformation. In Bal Vikas, these young children who are coming to us, brothers and sisters, why do we run the Bal Vikas movement? Not because we want to show that we are doing good work or human values is something that we know. No. We are trying to catch every young child, every young boy, every young girl, that in 9 years, he automatically experiences the divinity within himself. He learns the art of listening to the voice of conscience within. The power of intuition becomes a hallmark of the personality of each child and each boy and each girl. Because when intuition is awakened, when the voice of conscience is awakened, that boy and that girl is going to live life of surrender, holding Bhagavan's hand as a friend, and he and she will walk the rest of her life. We have struggled. So many of us who did not go to Bal Vikas, we've had to work very hard for this experience, brothers and sisters. But we want to make it easy for our next generation. And therefore, the Bal Vikas movement is a great offering of gratitude to Bhagavan. The more we boost the Bal Vikas movement, the more as an organization, we offer one flower of each Bal Vikas child at the Divine Lotus feet. Not only we are doing service to that new life that is coming on earth, but we are ameliorating our own lives. We are moving faster towards His Divine Lotus feet, because we are offering ourselves to Him, for Him to work through us in this entire movement. The entire spiritual wing of the Sathya Sai organization, brothers and sisters, is not about how many jap we did, how many bhajans we did, how many speeches we had, how many talks that we had, how many sadhana camps that we had. It is not about that. It is about the constant transformation where I go quiet, I become one with Bhagavan, and Bhagavan manifests through me in my day-to-day action, in my day-to-day behavior. In happiness and sorrow, I offer both to Bhagavan. Whether people criticize me or not, I still love them and I do not criticize them. My mouth is not used, because how can I criticize when everything is Him? How can I be angry at anybody because everything, everyone is Him? How can I be jealous of anyone when God Himself is present in everyone? Are thoughts that must be seriously considered by the Sathya Sai Seva Organization in the spiritual wing. My state presidents, my district presidents, all must really offer this gratitude to Bhagavan of understanding Bhagavan's message in this form. The spiritual wing, the Bal Vikas, is a great asset that Bhagavan has given us for a very rapid transformational process at the Divine Lotus feet of Bhagavan. The service wing, we are not interested in the quantum of work that we do. Bhagavan has very clearly said, brothers and sisters, and let us remember that as our gratitude to Bhagavan. Bhagavan was never interested in knowing what our seva is doing to the beneficiary, but He was always interested in knowing what our seva has benefited us as a human being in our transformation. Did we see Bhagavan work through us? Did we see Bhagwan in the person whom we are reacting with? And did we control ourselves in taking the doership of that work? Is a question that all of us must ask. Our entire Seva wing is different because of this. We are powerful because of this power that we use of Bhagwan in our Seva unconditionally, with great amount of love, which nobody can give. Only Bhagwan can give through us as instruments. Even we cannot give. If we don't surrender to Bhagwan and let Bhagwan use his power of love through us, we also cannot give that love to people, because our mind will always be difficult to handle. But surrender is very, very important. The greatest gift of gratitude, the greatest Guru Dakshina that we can give to our Bhagwan today is surrender. Surrender of our thoughts, our actions, our breath, our everything in life is to him. Our happiness, our sorrow. Let him rule our lives. Brothers and sisters, the Sathya Sai organization is the unique platform which will give you and me, if practiced correctly, the power, the enlightened joy of knowing that Bhagwan is running our life. Like Lord Vithoba went to Sakubai and became Sakubai in her house to do all her chores. Or when Lord Vithoba went to Sant Tukaram and did everything for him, in fact came down in a plane to take him back, are examples in our lives. And that is the goal that the Sathya Sai organization wants to lead. I always say, brothers and sisters, we are not a non-governmental organization. We are not an NGO. We are a unique group of people who transform by self-transformation, who become exemplars, who become great motivators, great encouragers by our own actions. Therefore, Bhagwan is to say, you and I are not different. You and I are one. Bhagwan is to always say, there is no two gurus, there is only one guru. And that guru is inside us. And we offer our obeisance on this great Guru Poornima day by recognizing that guru within us. We remember the beautiful form, the lovely Prashanti Nilayam, as a source of great encouragement. When we see his form, and when we go to Prashanti Nilayam, whenever we can now go as early as possible, the time that we spend in Prashanti Nilayam and the time that we spend looking at his beautiful form and reading, seeing his pictures and his videos are all to be utilized to convince ourselves that this beautiful form came only to tell us that he is inside us and not outside. Brothers and sisters, let us for the next 5 years lay a very strong foundation of gratitude to Bhagwan. And this is the need of the hour. Look at the world today. Countries are going through turmoil. Human beings are depressed. Human beings don't know what to do. Countries have no idea what's happening. The world is in a complete turmoil and chaos. You can imagine the grace of Bhagwan, that he came a century before this happens, patiently spent time with all of us to prepare us for this great fight ahead. The survival of human values, the survival of mankind, and the survival of the power of spirituality and the power of the Almighty God. That is what God has prepared us for. And how can we sustain this if we do not understand this from the bottom of our heart? I sincerely wish, brothers and sisters, that we focus for the next 5 years on this essence of the message of Bhagwan Ji Sathya Sai Baba. That God pervades everything. God pervades nature, our attitude to nature, the way we live life, the Ceiling on Desires program, not to waste money, not to waste water, not to waste resources, respect nature, take care of the flora and fauna and the animals, and our relationship with all the human beings of love and affection. Silently and quietly, we express this divinity in our day-to-day action. Should be the goal that we want to set ourselves for the next 5 years as we approach the centenary celebrations of the manifestation of divinity in the form of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Let's come together, brothers and sisters, and ensure that in all the wings of our organization, in the entire unfolding of the human interactions and the human beings in the Sathya Sai organization, whether it is our devotees, it is the Sevadal, it's the Balvikas Gurus, the Balvikas children, the young messengers, or for that matter, very senior people who have had great experience. Let us all come together in a united manner to tell mankind through our experience that God, the power of God, is the power that rules the whole world. That is the power within each one of us, and that is what we want to manifest. This should be our goal we set in all the things that we plan for the next 5 years, brothers and sisters. In this respect, I'm very happy that one of the sankalps that Bhagavan made about the establishment of the Vedas is now today started by the Vedic team, which has started the online Veda learning classes for young youth members of the organization and generally youth who want to know more and more of it. I was surprised. The first announcement, and there were 4,000 applications by young men and women. You see, brothers and sisters, the urge, the penchant to know more about Vedas and divinity already exists. We are just being available to them so that their quench for God thirst, their God thirst, their quench for divinity, their quench for grace is fulfilled. Bhagavan has done all the job. We as an organization are only joining the dots to see the Virat Swarup of the work that Bhagavan has already done on the face of this earth, brothers and sisters. The online Veda training has just been launched today morning, and it's going to go full swing as we go further. We are going to ensure that Vedas, the sankalp of Bhagavan Shri Sathya Sai Baba of establishment of Vedas is fulfilled in all its glory. I have also requested all the states to establish the Vedic platforms in the states where great Vedic scholars of each state are brought together on a platform in the background of the message of Bhagavan Shri Sathya Sai Baba, so that Vedas and the Vedic beauty is established in the minds of young men and women in every state of India. The Vedamrutam book, which was brought out a few years ago at the Vedic conference, is an amazing compilation of Bhagavan's messages on the Vedic knowledge that Bhagavan wanted all of us to do. The second dimension is of spirituality. Apart from the Vedic knowledge, in the world of spirituality, brothers and sisters, the whole cosmic energy is one. Bhagavan mentioned to us. Bhagavan said that my energy pervades. And therefore, the power of the mantra of Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu is an amazing mantra. Is an amazing, powerful instrument that Bhagavan has given us. You remember the days when Bhagavan corrected us? And he says, not Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Bhagavan said, Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. And all of us are chanting this. I know that. All of us do this. But the time has now come to do this in a collective manner. Like in the COVID times, we all agreed and we embarked upon that 15 minutes from 9 in the night to 9:15 before we sleep on the chanting of the Sai Gayatri. Let us now from this Guru Poornima onwards start the collective chanting of Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Let everybody be at peace. Let everybody be at happy. And I tell you, science has proved that this vibration can change the thinking of the world. This vibration can make a evil into good. This vibration can change the minds of people and bring them together in unity and divinity. This is possible that we must do it. So, if the chanting of the Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu is added to the existing Sai Gayatri, imagine the power that we will create in the whole world, brothers and sisters. And this is a proven fact. To support this, you will see a short video now, and I'm going to share a PowerPoint presentation based upon Bhagavan's teachings, which each of the states, and I'm sure you will translate in the regional languages and share it with all devotees. It's important because this collective prayer is the amelioration of today's world. Do you think the governments have answers to all the problems? Do you think mankind has answer to all the questions? Do the doctors have answers for anything? Do the lawyers have answers for anything? Do businessmen have answers for anything? All theories have gone completely haywire and awry, brothers and sisters. The only theory that is going to work is Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu, as Bhagwan has taught us. Therefore, I do urge everyone that from Guru Poornima, from this beautiful day onwards, every night while we chant the Sai Gayatri, let us collectively chant. And the Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu can be done in various ways. There are various suggestions which are made in the PPT. Collective sadhana, meeting together to chant this thing. We already do it after bhajans, but doing it at home at personal level, doing it at home at the family level, and doing it even as a sadhana, collective sadhana, wherever the opportunity arises to recite the entire Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu at all times will be a great offering at the Divine Lotus feet of telling Swami that, Swami, we all collectively pray to you, not individually only, but collectively pray to you that your grace should befall on entire mankind, and the world and the planet and the cosmos should be a more positive place to stay. Brothers and sisters, this is not only for our own amelioration. Our next generation deserves this prayer from us. Our next generation deserves that we pray this so that their lives are better. Their environment is better. We have done this, maybe our own karmas, our own doing. We have created this mess in this world. But at least now, let us pray and leave a better world for tomorrow. Is the purpose of this great sadhana of Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. You will see a short video, as I said, down the line. The next aspect is of the Sri Sathya Sai Bal Vikas. Brothers and sisters, Bhagwan has always said that one of the foremost pillars of the Sathya Sai organization is the Sri Sathya Sai Bal Vikas. And the Sri Sathya Sai Bal Vikas is a movement that is going on its own vigor. Bhagwan has himself taken charge of this movement. He's using all of us as instrument to see that his love, his knowledge, his teaching reaches the humble, small minds of children. Imagine a small child of 3 years and 4 years and 5 years and 6 years is inbuilt in the human value system. He's chanting the name of the Lord like Dhruva, like Prahlada. If the name of the Lord, in whichever way he or she likes, is on the name, my God, imagine what can happen to the destiny of that child. It's something that the hair stands on our hand if we realize what we want to do, brothers and sisters. I'm very happy that with the help of my brothers and sisters from the state of Tamil Nadu, there are so many of them, I don't want to name any one, but they've done a beautiful job on setting up the Sri Sathya Sai National Bal Vikas website, which we are launching today. And this is a unique effort of all the gurus put together. A collective bank of experience of all the gurus and people involved and alumni who are involved in the whole Bal Vikas movement have come together to give a robust Bal Vikas website. This Bal Vikas website is not only going to be helping the gurus in their training, it will be a great access for the children to learn more and more. It will be a great aid to the parents to solve their problems of parenting. And as the future goes, we would leave a legacy for the next generation to follow in the form of the Sri Sathya Sai National Bal Vikas website, brothers and sisters. And you know, the uniqueness of this is that the entire team has put together an amazing website which is available in so many languages. So language won't be a bar in this learning of the Bal Vikas as a website is concerned. Let us all come together and offer the Vedic learning courses, the Bal Vikas website, this sankalp of the entire mankind to keep on chanting the Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu collectively by everyone together, all these at the Divine Lotus feet of our Bhagwan today. It's a great day, and we pray to Bhagwan that he blesses all these efforts of ours with his grace, with his blessings. Brothers and sisters, the Sri Sathya Sai Young Messengers, an amazing young group of people in the whole country. I was very happy to know that every state has appointed a state youth coordinator, Mahila and Gent. Every district has a Mahila and Gent youth coordinator. Every samiti has youth leaders. And all of them are coming together, collectively working in a unified manner. The moment the lockdown is over, we wish to have the first All India Youth Conference as early as possible, where all these people come together. I was told by my back office that we already have more than 5,000 office bearers of the Sathya Sai organization in the young messengers category. Imagine if these people get trained in the next 5 years, we as elderly people will have the great privilege and the joy of handing over this baton of the Sathya Sai movement to the next generation of youth when the centenary celebration happens. I look forward to great cooperation from all my colleagues, from the elders in the organization, to be compassionate to the young people, to be understanding, to be loving and caring to them, so that they are nourished, they are nursed into becoming great leaders of Sai in the movement as we go further. Brothers and sisters, this is indeed a prayer today at Bhagwan's divine lotus feet, that let us not forget the goal of sadhana. I think the Sathya Sai organization will be deemed to be successful only if we realize that we are nothing. This is just a body where the Lord himself resides. And the mind is tuned and toned and tamed to believe and surrender to the master within, to follow his diktats, to follow his commands and manifest in day-to-day life. Imagine a world, brothers and sisters, where everyone is nice to everyone, where everyone serves unconditionally, where nobody claims doership, when everything is offered to Bhagwan. Ours is a culture where every aspect of life is dedicated to Bhagwan. We remember Bhagwan when we are born. We remember Bhagwan when we start studies. We remember Bhagwan when there is sorrow. We remember Bhagwan when there is happiness. We remember Bhagwan when marriage happens. We remember Bhagwan when events happen in our family. We remember Bhagwan even when we die. Everything is Bhagavatmay in our life. And that is what we want mankind to understand, that he is the doer. And let us now plan for the next 5 years in this direction, brothers and sisters, to ensure that we achieve this experience of the presence of divinity inside us and everywhere around us. We look through the eyes of God, we hear through the ears of God, and we speak through the mouth of God. That is what we really want to offer the divine lotus feet. And this is exactly what we want to offer to Bhagwan on this auspicious Guru Poornima day in July of 2020, when we are surrounded with dark clouds, but the divine light emanates from within us to light up the whole cosmos and give hope and confidence to mankind. Jai Sai Ram.